We have theory class in the morning. We have a listening class, ear training class. They play in a combo once a day for an hour and a half. Probably 7 people in the combo with a piano, bass, drums, a guitar, and maybe 3 instruments like 2 saxophones and a trombone, say. And they have a master class where all the saxophones get together and they split up and go with separate teachers and work on problems that are peculiar to their particular instruments. And we had a tutors concert, so we played for them. And it's a fairly strenuous schedule. We go from 9:15 in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's something going on all the time.
David, my first thought when I heard about this was that it's a little bit contradictory to me anyway to be teaching people how to improvise.
Well, it's a question that we encounter all the time. And I think on reflection, it becomes very, very consistent, because any body of information which can be codified and observed can then be communicated, to people. Now, the business of teaching someone to be creative, all we can do is give them the tools, the craft, the language, and then provide an environment in which they are allowed to create, which is, I think,
so they have to take off in the end, but they learn some of the basic skills along the way.
Exactly.
You've brought a little piece of music into the studio with you, which is a backing track that you use during the course of one of your classes. Can we just listen to a little bit of it, and then perhaps you could describe what happens to it?
Okay.
Okay, you hear the backing track there. What do you do with the people that you've got in front of you?
Okay, what we listened to there was a little bit of Duke Ellington's Satin Doll, and that was merely the background music. They were playing the chords, the accompaniment, we call it. So the students would play the melody first, and then they would improvise upon the chords and scales that are written in the booklet. And of course, when they improvise, we encourage them to play on their instrument what they are actually hearing down inside their head. Like, say you see a businessman walking down the street whistling. If he were an instrumentalist, a trumpet player, we would ask him to try to play on his trumpet what he was whistling. That would be a good example of improvisation. That's what we're trying to do with the students, to get them to play what they hear in their head on their instruments. And in this case, they would be playing the melody to Satin Doll by Duke Ellington and then improvising upon that harmonic structure.
Does it take off immediately, or do you have some shambling moments when everybody's sort of kind of wandering around, wondering what on earth to do next? David?
Well, at the beginning, I think everybody's grappling with the business of what to do. Even when you know the correct scales and chords, it's very, very difficult then to just simply take off. That's like giving somebody the alphabet and telling them, all right, now write a novel. Somebody has to tell you how to construct a novel, where nouns go and verbs go and this kind of thing. And this is what we try to do at different levels. Sometimes we've got rank beginners, and at another time we look up and we've got people who are the top professionals in the city.
I was actually wondering what sort of people have been coming along to the Goldsmith College.
We have a saxophone player who's been playing a year and a half, and he is a rank beginner. And we have some people who are very professional players. I mean, very good players. So we have a wide gamut there. But we have teachers that are used to working with people at beginning level, intermediate level, and advanced level. And it should be pointed out that each morning we start off with a theory class for an hour and a half, where people talk about it and do assignments and things before they actually get in the combo and are asked to get their instruments out and play these solos. So before they get to the combo, they actually have a better idea of what it is they're going to do when they start to play, because we have the theory first.
Well, from what you've seen in London, do you think this idea will take off in the future here? Because I imagine much more of this sort of thing goes on in America than does here at the moment.
Well, I think we have made a very, very good start. Jamey and I were here last year at this time, kind of to seed the ground, and we've seen a nice fallout, and I understand there are any number of camps which are similar to this going on already, indigenous teachers and population.
Well, thank you both very much indeed for dropping into Sarah and Company. It sounds extremely interesting. So David Baker and Jamey Aebersold, come back again sometime.
Thank you for inviting us.